Okay, so before I go any further, I'm started to add some stuff to my project. Now I have 2 pages and I have some buttons here. I think I want to save my work, so I'm going to go and the instructions on saving on all these tutorials. It looks like they're all the last step here, where it says save your work. I'm going to follow these directions. So basically, it's you go to the File menu. Pick Save Project, and that saves it. Okay, if you've already saved it under some name, it'll just save it again under the same name. So it writes over anything that you had before. Now when I quit out and open up Turtles Geometry, let's see. So I'm going to quit MicroWorlds EX and start it up again. Oh, look at that, it opened right up. But let's say I had another project open. So whenever you click on this backpack with a page behind it, that starts up a new project. So let's say I had a different project. I want to get back to my tutorial. So we're working on Turtles and Geometry. And then I'm going to open my project. Let me resize. Well, I'll do that in a second. Let's see. Bits and blocks, demos, Turtles and Geometry, this guy. Okay, open. And there it is. So let me resize this. Okay. So we just finished looking at circles. And now we're going to look at procedures. So I mentioned earlier that there are built-in words that are known already to MicroWorlds right out of the package, right? When you download it or load it off of your CD, there are built-in words that MicroWorlds knows, and those are the words in the vocabulary. Okay. All these words that are listed alphabetically, or if you want to look at them by Turtles and Graphics, by subject, there you can look at them that way. But sometimes you want to teach the turtle new tricks, right? So what you can do is you can, just like in a dictionary, when you look up a word, the definition uses other words to define it, right? So in Logo, to teach new words to MicroWorlds, you use the built-in words, or you can use words that you teach MicroWorlds to do new tricks. But let's look at an example here. It says, not only does MicroWorlds EX contain built-in words, but you can also add new words to its vocabulary by writing procedures. It would be useful to have a command that draws a circle, so add one. Control-click the turtle and select Open Backpack. So I'm holding down my Control key and clicking, or it might be right-click for you if you're in Windows, and I'm going to say Open Backpack. And it says click on the Procedures tab. I'm going to do that. A Turtle's Procedures tab is the place where you define new words for that specific turtle to know. It contains the turtle's private list of words. To define a command that draws a circle to the right, type this. So let's just copy what it says. It says 2. Now, whenever you're going to teach a new word to MicroWorlds, there's a couple of rules that you have to follow. So one is you start, and right now we're just writing a recipe for how to do the thing, or a definition maybe is a way to think about it, for how to do the thing that we want to do. So we're going to teach it how to do something called right circle. And what we want is that when we, let me clear this for a second. What we want is that when we type in right circle, and I'm going to make this a little bigger here so it's easier to see. When I type in right circle, I want to click on my return key, and then the turtle will automatically draw a circle to the right for me. Right now, if I say right circle and hit return, he says, I don't know how to right circle. That's not a word in his vocabulary. If you look it up in the vocabulary, you won't find right circle in there. Okay? And we know that also because he says, I don't know how to right circle. All right? But we want to teach him how to do that. So to teach him the new word, a new word, what you do is you say to the name of the word you want to teach, right circle. Okay? And then the way to do it, like basically the instructions, some instructions that we're going to put in, and then when you're done with the instructions, when there are no more instructions for right circle, you say end. Okay, so now if I say, let's see what happens now if I say right circle. Okay, well now he knows it. He didn't say I don't know how to right circle. He knows it because it's here, but we didn't give any instructions, so he's not doing anything with it, right? Okay. Let's see. Oh, one other very important thing is that notice there's no space between the word right and the word circle here. If you try to put a space there, it's gonna give you some problems, and we'll talk about that more in the future. But for now, just don't do it. Just make that all. You can mush together the words. If you want, you might want to capitalize the second word so you can tell them apart, or you could maybe put a dash in between them. I think that'll work. Let's see. Right circle. Yeah. If so however you want to do it. The thing is that however you spell it here, you need to spell it exactly the same way down here. Okay, so that's the basic form. Anytime you're writing a procedure, you want to say to the name of the procedure. Okay, so that's the name of the new word that you're teaching to microworlds. Some instructions, and we'll put the instructions in a second, and then the word end. Okay, so here the instructions that we're going to put, because we want to draw a circle to the right, we're going to say repeat 360, and it's just like you would write it in the command center. I'm putting my brackets, and then forward 1, RT1. And I don't want this extra space in here, so I'm putting my cursor right before the E to click on it, and then I'm hitting my delete key, and that pops me up one line. Okay, so now I have to right circle, repeat 30, forward 1, right 1. So now let's see what happens when I do that. Whoa, cool! And just so happened his pen was down. In the state tab, you can say pen up or pen down or whatever, or in your command center you can write. See if I type pen up, see what happens to the state button, or if I can say pen down, and it'll go back down. Okay. Okay, so I think that's all I want to say. Yeah, they go over the rules that I just talked about here. Make sure it's a single word. Make sure you're not using a word that's already in the microworlds vocabulary. So what would happen if we tried to define something? What if we tried calling this? We know forward is in the microworlds vocabulary, right? Or clean, let's say. What would happen if we tried to do it that way? Oh, it says clean is already used in the backpack for T1 on page 2. See right here, it says backpack for T1 on page 2. The name of this, if you go back to state, the name of this turtle is T1. the names get kind of picked for you if you don't pick them. It'll when you create a new turtle, it'll be T1, or if I created another one, it will be T2, and so on. And you can change the name with this edit button. I'm not going to do that right now. So you can't use a word that is, you can't use a built-in word to name your procedure. And if you do by mistake, it'll just come back and tell you, clean is already used. Okay, and it tells you where the where you're trying to reuse it. So we're trying to put it in backpack for T1 on page 2. So let's name it back to right circle. Okay, and now we have our right circle back. Okay, good. And again, now you can use this anywhere you would use a regular any other procedure name. So you can type it in the command center, you could put it in a button, or you could use it in writing another procedure. And again, I've done a piece of work that I want to make sure I save. So I'm going to go to File and say Save Project. And now we're ready for the next lesson, which is going to be Please Repeat.